Hello, my wonderful friends. Sally the Seeker here. I hope you all are doing well. I think I have it paused on a great place. I call it Darrell looking dazed and confused, but he would call it him being the smartest person in the room and everyone else is idiots. But, and I'm not going to hold you up too much, but I actually had been working and all this last weekend had been researching this boy in a box case. Not the one that was from a long time ago. This is the one where the parents in Jupiter, Florida were arrested because they built an 8x8 enclosure inside their garage to have as a timeout, but it was really more like a living area for their, at that time, juvenile son, but he's 16 at the time that they went to court. And I really got into it, and so I did a lot of researching. They reached the verdict this past Friday. The names of the parents are Tracy and Timothy Ferreter. They are being tried separately. Timothy just finished up, and then Tracy, they haven't set a date for her court date, but she will also be doing that. And they reached a verdict for him on this past Friday. The trial started a couple weeks ago, and I just really got into it. I didn't know much about it. I'm like, okay, that's Florida. Things are always a little jacked up there, and this is no different. But it's very fascinating, so I got a lot of information together to put up, but I'm finally monetized. Yay me. Thank you all. But there was an alert saying that because, they put ads to it that help earn revenue, and they were saying that it wasn't friendly, but I'm thinking, I don't really know what about the content, because, with Darrell, we're talking about things. I'm not sure. It says either it won't earn anything or it'll be less, but I just couldn't see anything wrong. But I haven't published it yet. You can send it in for review. I'm going to do that. But even if they don't take it, I'll lose the little bit. And I still might put it up there because I just think it's fascinating. It's sad, but it really makes you think about awareness. And some of y'all may have seen the trial, but so I've been really working on that. But I thought, well, you know what? We know we can always come back to Darrell, and I won't stop him no matter who else I'm covering. So in this one, let's see, the two people that are going to be testifying today are for the state. Officer Bryce Butryn and Officer Sonia, she said Sonia Schneider. I haven't watched this in a while. I remember bits and pieces of it, but sometimes I kind of like to not watch them, even though I remember it some, because there's things I'm going to forget, and then I'm going to get irritated all over again by it. So they're getting ready to call Officer Bryce Butryn to the stand. They had just finished questioning Detective Casey, and I already have that video or that testimony way back. You could probably look through and find it. It's the first time he testified. And so we have these two officers following him, who I'm sure Darrell is going to try to intimidate them and question everything. And probably, let's see, did you pay... Let's see, are you wearing that? Why are you wearing that uniform? Are you getting paid to testify today? I don't know. It's not quite as bad, but it's just as annoying as when he always asks the victims, oh, so do you have a financial interest in this? He's so predictable. See, I'm already getting irritated with him. But let's go ahead and begin. I said I wasn't going to waste too much of your time, but I did a little bit. But Here we. But see, so I caught him right at the end where he's looking all confused, and not Doctor Casey, Detective Casey just stepped off the stand, and he's like making all these gestures and these annoying facial expressions, like everyone's an idiot. I don't even think he says anything, but I'm just like, why? But here we go.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. You may step down.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's an idiot for you.
Witness.
Thank you. The state will call Officer Bryce Butryn.
Oh Lord, here he is, digging through.
Officer, please make your way to the witness stand, which is to my right, up a riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
First is Bryce, B-R-Y-C-E. Last is Butryn, B-U-T-R-Y-N.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Sir, how are you currently employed?
As a police officer with the City of Waukesha Police Department.
How long have you been a police officer?
Approximately 5 years.
Were you on duty on the date of November 21, 2021, sir?
Yes, I was.
And what was your duty?
I was assigned to a traffic control post for the annual holiday parade.
And what time did you start that afternoon?
I believe it was approximately 3 p.m.
Okay. And you were given a specific assignment of an area to patrol along the parade route?
Yes, I was.
Where was that location?
I was initially assigned to East Avenue at Arcadian Avenue, and I had repositioned to East Avenue and East Main Street.
Okay, I'm gonna actually ask if we could please put up Exhibit 1. Go ahead. So I'm gonna give you a pointer, sir, if I may.
Yeah, if I could have Deputy Whittick come get that from you, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, because Darrell can't. They can't.
It's on the big screen behind you. I'm gonna have to ask you to use the pointer and just point out these
Excuse me.
locations, please. So,
Is that expandable? Does he need
Yes.
to open that up? All right, thank you.
okay, you told us first you were monitoring traffic at East Street and Arcadian Avenue, is that correct?
Yeah, so I was at East and Arcadian, which would be right here.
Okay. What was your purpose in working that location originally?
Originally, it was to prevent any northbound traffic from entering the parade route onto Main Street, so to divert any traffic from East Avenue to travel eastbound on Arcadian.
Okay. And then you said you moved up?
Correct.
Where did you go at that point?
I had repositioned my squad, which was a marked police SUV, to the intersection of Northeast Avenue and East Main Street.
When did you make that move?
From what was the parade lineup that we had when there was approximately 10 spots left that we thought, which was inaccurate at that time.
Okay. So as the parade was starting or
As the parade was nearing the end.
nearing the end? Okay. Okay, you can have a seat again, please, sir. When you got up to near the parade route, did you just stay in that area, sir, or
Yes, I did.
were there any other officers present in that area?
Yes, there was.
And were you just watching the parade and monitoring the people?
Correct.
At some point, did something unusual occur?
Yes.
What was that?
There was initial radio traffic of squads being dispatched to what was initially coded as a man with a knife call. There was information that there was a fight occurring in Frank Park. And then after that, there was radio traffic that there was a vehicle that was entering the parade route.
Okay. And you were near the beginning of the parade route, as you just showed us, right?
Yes.
Okay. When you heard that information about a car entering the parade route, what did you do?
Based on the information that was available at that time and previous situations that had occurred, I unholstered my firearm and stood and began walking out into the road on East Main Street.
What were you doing?
Trying to get the attention of the driver to divert them off the parade route.
Okay. And how far into the road did you go?
I was initially positioned right at the intersection on the south side of Main Street. I had made my way to the north side of Main Street, and I would estimate maybe 50 feet or so from the intersection of Northeast Avenue.
Okay. Were you able to visually see the red SUV at that point?
Yes, I was.
What was it doing when you first saw it?
The vehicle was traveling on the north side of Main Street. It was honking its horn, and I estimated the speed to be traveling at approximately 25 miles per hour.
What did you do?
I had raised my left hand and was telling the vehicle to stop, and the vehicle was ignoring what I was doing.
When you say raise your left hand, could you demonstrate that for us, please?
So I placed my left hand out in front of me, indicating to the vehicle to stop.
Okay. Were you dressed in a full police uniform, sir?
Yes, I was.
Just for the record, when he raised his left hand, I would say about chest high, it was with a palm facing out as if in the stop position.
Thank you. Officer Butryn, as you stood in that position with your hand straight out trying to stop the car, would you say the car was off to one of your sides or directly in front of you? Could you tell us the position of the SUV?
The vehicle was directly in front of me. I would estimate my position to be where the front license plate would be on a vehicle, so right in the middle.
And what distance was the SUV away from you when you did this?
I would estimate the vehicle was approximately 200 feet or so. It had came extremely close to me as it was making its way towards me.
Did you maintain that same position that you just described for us?
Yes, I did, until the vehicle was getting to the point where I believed that it was going to strike me, so I moved out of the way.
Were you saying anything?
I was saying stop to indicate to the driver that stop the vehicle.
Were you saying that in normal conversational tone, or did you raise your voice at all?
I was yelling to get the attention of the driver as it was loud outside and it was cold, so I believe the windows were going to be up on the vehicle.
Okay. And your testimony is that you stayed in the position with your left hand extended in a stop motion for about as long as you could until you felt you had to move away to avoid being struck by the SUV?
That is correct.
If the SUV was coming directly towards you, did you step to the right or the left of the SUV?
I would have stepped to the right of the SUV, which would be the driver's side of the vehicle.
Okay. Were you able to see the driver of the vehicle as it went past you?
I was able to get a general description of the driver.
What do you remember?
I remember the driver to be a male black wearing a gray or white shirt and appeared to be wearing a hat or have their hood up.
Okay. Would you say you got a good look at the driver's face?
I would say yes, I got a relatively good look at the driver's face.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Did you observe any facial hair on the driver?
At that time, I did not.
And did the car go right past you, sir?
Yes, it did.
As it went right past you, did anything obstruct your vision to see into the car?
No, it did not.
Were you able to see into the car, the SUV?
Yes, I was.
Did you see any other persons in the SUV?
I did not. There was only one sole occupant, which would be the driver of the vehicle.
As you were yelling at the SUV to stop and holding out the stop sign, did the vehicle stop?
The vehicle did not stop.
Did you see what the driver was doing as he went past you?
The driver appeared to be emotionless and was looking straight ahead, clearly ignoring anything that was to the sides of the vehicle.
Okay. Did you hear the vehicle honking its horn?
Yes, I did.
More than once?
Yes, multiple times.
As the vehicle went past you, what did you do?
I had lowered my firearm again to my side, and I attempted to grab the driver's side door with my left hand
Why'd you do that?
in order to hopefully open the door and gain the attention of the driver to get them to stop.
Are you able to estimate the speed of the vehicle as it went past you?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer.
We're time to object.
Based on my training experience, I estimated the vehicle to be traveling at approximately 25 miles an hour at that time.
Were you able to get the door handle open?
I was not.
Did you get a hand on it?
I did not. The vehicle was traveling too fast to be able to do that.
Okay, you reached for it but missed, basically.
That's correct.
Okay.
Hmm.
This is the area where you tried to stop the SUV. This is before Barstow, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Did you continue to watch the vehicles that went past you?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled.
I had watched the vehicle and I began to chase after it westbound on Main Street.
On foot?
Yes, on foot.
Were you walking or running? What were you doing?
I was running after it.
Were you saying anything at that time?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled.
At that point, at the vehicle,
You're
as
just
the vehicle passed
making
me,
up
not
times
saying
to
anything,
object.
began chasing it.
Okay. And you were running after it.
Yes,
Were you able to catch it?
I was not. The vehicle was traveling too fast.
Can you approximate the speed of the vehicle at this location?
After the vehicle had passed me, had appeared to have begun increasing its speed. Vehicle was traveling approximately 30 to 35 miles an hour.
Okay, just pausing for a moment. Let's face it, we already know that Darrell, Dodo, Doofus, Douchebag is going to jump on the fact that Officer Butryn heard him honk the horn. But again, it means nothing if he's honking the horn and still going at a rapid speed and mowing over people. But we know he's going to harp on it, so let's just mentally prepare ourselves in his cross-examination.
Did you see the red SUV strike anyone?
Not between the intersections of Northeast Avenue and Northwest Barstow Street.
How about once it crossed Barstow?
Yes.
What did you see? You
Uh,
can take your time. I'm sorry. I know this is a lot of questions.
We'll
So
see.
I
Another
observed
person
the
affected forever,
vehicle
mentally.
swerving side to side. People flying from the vehicle, items flying in the air, things like that.
you know, Officer Butryn, as you have to reflect on this in your testimony, who was being struck? Do you remember a uniform or a description of any type?
There was so many things flying at that point, I don't know what was being struck.
Okay. Now, you were trying to keep up with the vehicle, right, on foot?
Yes, I was.
To be clear, there's no squad cars chasing the defendant's vehicle, correct?
Not at that time, no.
Okay, just officers on foot trying to catch up.
That's correct.
And at any point, did you see the vehicle just pull over to the side of the road and stop?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
No, it's not hearsay. He's saying it.
From the time that I could visually observe the vehicle, I did not see it stop or pull to the side of the road.
After you saw the SUV strike other human beings, did you see the driver stop, pull over, and check on those persons?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled.
Irrelevant. I
No,
think
did
it's
not. The vehicle continued.
very relevant.
Was the driver of the SUV still honking the horn?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
He's never
From the
gonna-
distance that the vehicle had
No.
traveled away from me, I could not at that time hear what the vehicle was doing.
Okay. I'm gonna show a couple videos to you, okay, sir? First, I'm gonna ask for exhibit number 16 to be put on preview mode. Go ahead. All right. Do you see exhibit 16 on your screen, Officer Butryn?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
It's on now.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Ms. Gussie to just play a few seconds so that you can make sure you're looking at the same clip that we've seen before. Okay, you can stop. For the record, about 3 seconds of the clip was played. Do you recognize this video clip, sir?
Yes, I do.
In the preview that you just observed, did you see yourself in the clip?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And I'm going to ask, excuse me, do you believe this clip is a true and accurate representation of your actions on November 21 of 2021?
Yes, I do.
Move to admit and permission to publish, Your Honor.
Objection. We haven't seen the entire video yet. How do we know what's in the video?
The proper foundation has been laid. The objection is noted. Exhibit 16 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
All right, for the record, it's a total clip of 18 seconds. I'm going to play it through once for the jury, and then we can break it down and ask you to describe further if we need to. Officer Butryn, is that the video? Is that video consistent with the testimony you just provided about your efforts to approach the SUV and stop it?
Yes, it is.
We were not able to see on the video the part where you stood in the middle of the road with your left hand extended, correct?
That is correct.
But we did see you run from the right side of the video to the left side of the video and appear to be making your way down the north side of the street, is that correct?
That is correct.
And is that the location where you would have been when you tried to stop the vehicle?
Yes.
And then we saw you sprinting after the vehicle, correct, on foot?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to show you another exhibit 17, please. And again, we'll preview it, ask you to take a few seconds to look at it and see if you recognize it, okay? Okay, you can stop. Again, she just previewed the first 3 seconds. Officer Butryn, have you seen this video before, sir?
Yes, I have.
Do you see yourself in this video?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe this video is a true and accurate representation of your actions on November 21 of 2021?
Yes, I do.
Do you happen to know how this video was recorded?
Objection.
Or from what camera? You're right, it's a vague question. From what camera this video was recorded?
Objection. Relevant.
Overruled.
This was recorded from the City Waukesha Police Department squad camera.
For your squad car?
For the squad car that was operating at night, yes.
Okay. Move to admit number 17 and permission to publish.
Objection. Actually, it's 4 seconds that was played, and we still aren't clear of the relevancy of this
You're talking
video.
way too much.
Your objections are noted. The foundation has been laid. It's relevant. Overruled. Exhibit 17 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
All right, we're going to put it up. Before we play it, I'm just going to have you set the scene here. Can you, that's a touch screen in front of you, sir. Can you circle yourself in the video? All right, and next to you, it looks like there's a person in a yellow vest that reads police. Is that correct?
Objection. We're referring to the officer giving testimony, not the officer that's present with him.
Overruled.
What
Yes,
the
that is correct.
heck?
Who is that officer?
That'll be Officer Schneider.
Okay. And what's
Darrell.
the crossroad
Darrell,
here
Darrell.
again? If you could just remind us.
Objection.
On the-
Relevant.
We'll start on the south side of the street.
The objection's noted, it's overruled. He may answer.
On the south side of the street where the squad is parked, that it's going to be Northeast Avenue.
Okay. And on the north side of the street?
I believe that'll be Buckley Street.
Okay. So can you erase, you can clear the screen, please? Oh, clerk did it, thank you. Just kind of draw a line or point out where Buckley Street is. It's a little hard to see exactly at this moment, correct?
Correct.
Just show the okay. And as this video plays, you can see Buckley Street a little clearer as the people move, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. All right, please clear, thank you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and play this in its duration. It's 37 seconds in length.
Again, looking intently at his handiwork.
There you go.
Correct.
All right, Officer Butryn, again, it's not a 100% clear shot, but you can see you making your way around the front of that white pickup truck, correct?
Correct.
That was one of the entries in the parade?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And then you kind of go out of view behind that white pickup truck, correct?
That is correct.
Is that the area where you encountered Mr. Brooks in the SUV?
Objection. I do not
Identify
identify
by that name.
Do I consent to it?
Yeah, well, we don't
Your
care.
objection's noted, it's overruled.
That is where I had initially placed my hand out in front of me and advising the vehicle to stop.
Okay. How far down that parade route did you run, sir?
I made it all the way down to there's a tattoo parlor, I believe the address is in the 400 block of West Main Street, so almost all the way down Main Street until it makes the curve and ends.
Okay. And you were not able to catch up to the SUV, correct?
No.
But again, as you previously testified, the SUV had not stopped anywhere along that route, correct?
Objection. I already asked this question, and it was answered already.
It's foundational, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Correct. I never observed the vehicle stop at any point that I was making my way down the route.
As you were running down the route, did you encounter people who had been struck and injured?
Objection. I already asked question.
Overruled.
Yes, I did.
Didn't even say
What do you
asked and
remember about
answered.
that, sir?
Asked and answered. Oh, poor thing.
There were multiple casualties on both sides of the road, varying degrees of injuries to people. The only way to describe it is just pure chaos. There was people pulling at me in multiple directions trying to help people.
Did you attempt to render first aid to some people?
Initially from the area of Barstow to the area of about Clinton Street. There's still an active threat of the vehicle, so I continued to chase after that vehicle to stop the threat. And then when I made my way to Clinton Street and westbound from there, began to render aid.
Okay. At some point much later in the night, are you aware that the vehicle that was suspected to have been involved in this incident was found on Maple Street, sir?
Yes.
Did you go to that area?
Yes, I did.
Did you take a look around the area where the vehicle was located?
Yes, I did.
Were you able to determine, well, strike that. Do you remember where the vehicle was parked?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled.
I do not recall the address in which it was parked, but I do know the position of where the vehicle was parked, yes.
Could you just briefly describe how the vehicle was parked?
Objection irrelevant.
Overruled.
That's
The vehicle was backed into a driveway at a residence on Maple Street.
And do you remember looking around the area where the vehicle had traveled near the residence on Maple Street?
Yes.
Do you remember finding a hat at that location?
Objection irrelevant.
Overruled.
oh,
Yes, I do.
Darrell, you don't know what you're talking about.
As for Exhibit 92 to be previewed for the witness, please. Is 92 up, sir?
Yes, it is.
Do you remember seeing that item?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe this picture is a true and accurate representation of the hat that you observed in the backyard?
Yes, I do.
Move to admit 92 on permission to publish, Your Honor.
Objection hearsay. How can we know for sure that that hat wasn't by somebody that lives in the building?
How can he?
You can't testify.
Yeah, he's
Attempt to
doing that
do
the
I'll
whole
instruct you
time.
not to. Your objection is overruled. And Exhibit 19 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
I'm sorry, it's 92, Your Honor.
Oh, 92. Thank you.
He just goes on and on. Well, it's so annoying, so annoying. Testifying. But he never did, and he never would, because Attorney Sue Opper would nail him. That's the biggest reason I can figure why he didn't testify, because we know he loves to hear himself talk. He did not want to face the wrath of Sue Opper. I wish we could have seen that, though. All right, here we go.
Exhibit 92.
You remember seeing that hat in the backyard area, sir?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's real relevant, I think, dude.
In fact, you remember asking the people at the residence if any of them own that hat?
There was one male that came out that had taken a picture and asked the rest of the residents at that location if it was any of theirs.
And did it belong to anyone at the residence?
They indicated that it did not.
Officer Butryn, the videos that we saw, Exhibit 16 and 17, I asked you about that side road on the north side of the street, north side of Main Street, Buckley Street, correct?
That is correct.
Were there any barricades at that location, sir?
Objection hearsay.
Overruled.
He's never
Yes, there were.
learned
If
the
I remember
hearsay thing.
correctly, I believe there were 3 barricades.
And did they fully block the roadway at that location?
Yes.
If Mr. Brooks had wanted to leave the parade route, would he have been able to get out at that location?
Objection. I do not consent to that name, nor
deflect,
do I know
deflect,
any
deflect.
individual by that name.
Blah, 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 blah.
Your objection's noted. You may answer the question.
Yes, it would have been a reasonable exit point.
Would there have been anything other than those plastic barricades that would have blocked his exit from the parade at that spot?
Objection hearsay.
Hearsay. Good gosh, it is not. Okay, here we go.
It's not hearsay. It's overruled. You may answer.
No, the only thing that would have been struck was the plastic barricade.
Thank you. Those are all my questions, sir.
You may ask this witness questions, Mr. Brooks.
Yes.
Ugh. You know, I should have paused it on Officer Butryn, but you could just see the pain and the trauma in his eyes. And again, there's so many people that were chasing after his vehicle, but we know that Darrell is gonna be a douche to him. So let's go on and get it over with.
Officer, is it Butryn?
Correct.
Good morning, officer.
Sure.
You stated that you had got, or you heard a radio call about a knife fight in Frame Park.
That is correct.
Did you ever at any time follow up or go to Frame Park to investigate the said knife fight?
No, I did not.
Did you learn any initial information about the said fight?
Initial or additional?
No, I did not.
Do you know who reported the knife fight?
No, I do not.
There, so quit talking about the knife fight. He just gets so into it because it involves Erica. It has nothing to do with helping you. I'm cranky.
So you also stated that you heard the vehicle that was approaching honking its horn multiple times. Is that correct?
Oh, the horn honking thing. Help us. Help us.
To the best of your knowledge, what would be a reason that someone operating a motor vehicle will honk their horn?
Objection, speculation.
Overruled, may answer.
Okay.
There are multiple reasons why a vehicle would do that.
Can
That's
you
right.
give any specific reason?
To alert people or vehicles in the area that there's a vehicle coming.
And you also stated that you didn't see anyone struck when while the vehicle was approaching you.
Between the area that I observed the vehicle and Northwest Barstow Street, I did not see anybody struck, no.
Would it
Be
be
fair
fair
to
to say
say-
that you also didn't see the vehicle target anyone?
Oh,
Objection,
that's really dumb.
speculation.
Calls for speculation on the part of the witness,
Yeah.
so it's sustained. You can rephrase your question.
Don't help him,
You
Judge.
ask calls for
See, I'm gonna be a little bit more crankier with Judge Jarrow too.
While the vehicle was approaching you, you stated that you saw it maybe 200 feet away, I think is what you said. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Did you see the vehicle actively targeting anyone to strike him?
Same objection.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
I bet that guy wants to punch him out.
What would you estimate the population was right at
Oh my God.
what was shown on the video? Was it hundreds of people, dozens of people, right in the general area that you were?
I would estimate there's probably several hundred people in that area.
And you saw no one struck?
Objection, vague.
Can you rephrase, please, just to be specifics?
Out of the hundreds of people that were in your general area, you didn't witness anyone being struck by the vehicle?
Not initially.
Then he did. Remember, people were flying everywhere. He thinks just because he didn't hit everyone that it's okay. Gosh.
You also stated that there were barricades in the general area that you were?
Yes.
Were they off to the side? Were they in front of you? Where were the barricades located?
They would have been located on Buckley Street and on Northeast Avenue.
Would it be fair to say that those were the side streets coming into the main street?
Yes.
So would it be fair to say that a vehicle that was on the parade route would have to go down one of those side streets that was barricaded off to exit the parade route?
Oh my God. Dumb question.
Yes.
But we all know you drove through the barricade. It's such a dumb question.
And from your perspective, would a vehicle that was on a parade route know that they can exit from those areas that were barricaded?
Or you could stop.
Sustained.
You could just stop.
Were you injured in any way by the vehicle?
No.
Oh gosh.
And in the video was pretty short video. Would it be fair to say that the vehicle passed you relatively quickly?
Yes.
And you were able to get a look at the operator of the vehicle as quickly as it passed you?
Yes.
You've asked this multiple times to multiple people, and they
Did you
say
notice
yes.
any tinting to any of the windows on the vehicle?
No.
Tinting, license plates.
So you were able to see inside of the vehicle pretty clearly?
Yes.
Did you get a description of what the operator of the vehicle was wearing?
Yes.
You stated that the operator of the vehicle was wearing a hat. Would that be fair to say?
The operator of the vehicle appeared to be wearing a hat or have their hood up.
There you go. That's what he said. I remember that. Don't try to twist it.
If you got a clear description of the operator of the vehicle, wouldn't you know if it was a hat or a hood?
No.
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds.
Argumentative.
Sustained. Rephrase your question.
Would the vehicle had been moving too fast for you to clearly see
Nope.
if the driver had anything on their head?
Oh God, we've already been through this one.
No.
A lot of times people are looking at the face.
About how fast would you estimate that the vehicle was traveling when it passed you?
Approximately 25 miles per hour.
About how fast would you estimate the vehicle was traveling when it was approaching you?
Approximately 25 miles per hour.
Ooh.
Were you able to hear the vehicle honking before it approached you or when it came upon you?
Lord. Oh my God.
I was able to hear the vehicle honking before it approached me.
Did you hear the vehicle honk after it had passed you or came in contact with you?
No, I did not.
Would it be fair to say that the video shows that you can clearly let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say that the video that was shown, you can clearly hear the vehicle honking?
No.
He already said he heard the horn, but maybe the video didn't
Play
pick
the
it up.
video again for the witness.
Please.
You want it?
I want to knock
Which
his
video?
eyebrows off of him.
The exhibit 17.
Exhibit.
The squad video? That's the one you're requesting, the squad video?
Exhibit 17.
All right, permission
Whatever
to
is
publish
exhibit.
and show is granted.
Pause it right there. So at the time, we see you running over to where this white, I think that's a pickup truck. Is that you?
Yes.
At that time, had you heard the vehicle honking?
I don't recall.
What prompted you to move so quickly to jog towards the area that you were jogging to?
The radio traffic that I had heard.
So at that time, did you see a vehicle approaching? Wait, I still want to play that.
Gosh. Boy, I'm so annoyed.
At that time, did you see the vehicle approaching?
I don't like his tone.
From my position here, I don't know exactly when I had observed the vehicle.
Continue playing.
Please. Fool.
Pause right there. Would it be fair to say that that was not just a horn that was heard honking after the vehicle was past you?
I did not hear a horn, no.
I do
Wind it
not.
back.
Oh, God, here we go.
For the record, Your Honor, the first time Mr. Brooks asked for the video to be paused, it was 22 seconds. The second time, it was about 39 seconds. We're now going back to about the 30-second mark.
Objection. There isn't 39 seconds in the video. It stops at 37, so how could it be 39?
I'm sorry, you're absolutely right, sir, 29.
Wow. And
I
yet,
thought you
they're,
said
they're
39.
helping you with your work.
I can hear a horn.
Yeah, I bet you can. You with your deaf ear. He's so freaking rude. And again, the prosecution is helping him. Okay, they made a mistake. But you know, he didn't use any of his time preparing for this, obviously. So he has plenty of time to just sit around and pretend with the papers and then point out things. Because he doesn't have anything else to do. Oh, he's such an ass.
Sir, you can't testify, so you can ask a question of this witness, we'll watch it again,
When?
but at
Let
some
me ask
point
you-
you can't argue with
Let
him.
me ask this question.
Would
When
you-
did you observe or hear the vehicle honking? At which part in this video?
At no point in this video did I hear the horn honking.
But you did, in fact, hear the vehicle honking.
Yes.
And you still ran over a bunch of people.
Do you remember what you were generally doing when you heard the vehicle honking?
Making my way to the north side of Main Street to get the vehicle to stop.
So that would be when you were sprinting over to the white pickup truck.
Correct.
That's when you heard the vehicle honking.
Sometime in between there, yes.
And you heard it multiple times.
Yes.
And I'm sure the jury's impressed.
And to the best of your knowledge, a honking horn from a vehicle would indicate trying to alert people to its presence, correct?
There are several reasons why a vehicle would honk the horn.
Exactly.
Would you honk your vehicle to alert people to your presence?
Objection, irrelevant.
Grounds.
That's right. It is
It's not
irrelevant.
relevant, sustained.
You said it would be multiple reasons
Oh, God. Here we go.
that a vehicle will honk its horn. Would it be fair to say that one of those reasons would be to alert?
He already said that.
Asked and answered.
Yes, it has been asked and
Overall,
answered.
you know,
Don't
that's
look
right.
discuss it. It has been
Finish your
asked,
question.
asked and answered. My gosh.
fair to ask that would be to alert the many people that we can see in this video right now to the presence of the vehicle approaching?
Yes.
He
Officer Butryn, I see you in the uniform today.
Oh, here we go.
Would it be fair to ask that you would be on duty right now if not called to testify?
Hold on, Mr. Brooks, before we move on to a next topic, you had asked it to be paused. I trust you don't want anything further from this video published to the jury at this time.
No, not at this time.
All right, Madam Clerk may take it down. My apologies for the interruption.
That's okay.
Oh,
ahead,
well,
ask your
it's
question
okay. Ugh.
Would it be fair to say that if you weren't here to testify this morning, you would be on duty?
No, I would not be.
So this would be an off day?
I'm currently on vacation, yes.
Do you normally wear your uniform on vacation?
Objection, argumentative.
Very
Wow.
argumentative.
He may answer.
Only if I have something related to police activity or duty.
That's part of his duty, to get in court and testify. Darrell, douchebag, hasn't had a job to even understand how jobs work, and how, especially for being an officer of the law, as he says. Part of your things are to testify, which is probably not a very pleasant thing. Probably one of their least favorite things to do. Excuse me. I thought my cat Paris was at the door. So, and I know we've already seen him ask all these ridiculous questions to police officers. It's just like, oh well. We got to remind ourselves where he is now. In prison for 1,000 years with Bubba.
Do you feel that it was necessary to wear your uniform in court today?
Objection,
Grounds.
argumentative.
Sustained. Next question.
Thank you. So rude.
Are you a party to this matter in any way?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Look at that
Grounds.
face. Oh, he looks like he
Sustained.
wants to
It's not
kill him.
relevant.
Do you have a claim in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
He could claim you're an idiot.
Have you read the complaint in this matter?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Not relevant. Sustained.
Do you know who the plaintiff is in this matter?
Your
Objection,
mama.
irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
That guy, he's just like going, mm-mm.
Can you testify on who called you to testify? Who subpoenaed you to testify here this morning?
Look, they're gonna laugh because he might have a.
I believe it was the state of Wisconsin.
Did you
So
know?
the state of Wisconsin would be the plaintiff in this matter, to your knowledge?
Objection, Your Honor.
Grounds.
This question is irrelevant.
Sustained. It's not relevant, sir. Sustained. Next
I think it
question.
holds relevant. Who called
No,
you to
don't
testify.
argue it. No.
So you've had
gosh.
interactions with the state of Wisconsin?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant and vague.
Grounds.
Sustained.
This guy is like, I can't believe I'm sitting here having to answer questions from this idiot.
Can you testify if the state of Wisconsin is a living human being or an entity?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Sustained.
So you in fact don't have a claim in this matter, correct?
Objection, irrelevant.
Grounds.
He could claim you're a fool. Excuse me.
Sustained.
Claim you're wasting everyone's time. Claim your suit is too big. You have a dreadful hairline.
You are aware that all police departments are funded by the state of Wisconsin, are you not?
Objection, irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds.
Sustained.
If that's an inaccurate statement, then who pays you?
You know what? I hate that.
Objection to
I hate that.
relevance.
That-
Overruled. He may ask.
Oh my God. That guy behind him, unlike our guy who rarely shows any expression, this guy is actually laughing. He's going, oh my God. You know, always laughing at him though. That fellow there, he's that bailiff. He's looking like he wants to knock his block off. I don't like his body language when he puts his hand up there, like on his mask. I think he's trying to look like he's trying to look all pompous and superior, and it's so bizarre that he feels that way. That might be one of the funniest things of this whole thing.
He may answer, I assume you mean who pays him his salary.
Correct.
You may answer.
The city of Waukesha.
Is the city of Waukesha in the state of Wisconsin?
Yes.
Is the city of Waukesha the plaintiff in this case?
No.
Okay, now what you got? Don't go back to the horn again. Please don't go back to the horn.
How long have you known the plaintiff in this case?
Objection.
Grounds.
Irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained. Next question.
So to the best of your knowledge, you've never even had any interaction with the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Irrelevant.
Sustained. Mr. Brooks, under 906.11, if you need to move on to a new topic of cross-exam, otherwise I will declare the cross-exam opportunity closed.
At any time when the vehicle passed you, did you hear the vehicle honk?
Ask the
Oh
answer.
my God! See, he did ask the horn thing. I didn't think he was really going to do it. You run out of things. Just go on, move on to the
Is
next.
it fair to say that in the video clip that we were just shown, no one was struck?
Oh my gosh!
Correct.
We saw
Would it
people.
also be fair to say that in the video we just saw, the vehicle did not attempt to strike anyone?
Objection. Speculation.
Speculate. Yeah.
Sustained. Calls for speculation on the part of the vehicle operator.
We can clearly see in the video that no one was attempting to be struck.
Wait, you're talking again. You're testifying. Stop it.
The jury will disregard the last statement made by Mr. Brooks, as he may not testify at this point in time.
Yeah, you should have testified, bro. But you know that Sue Opera was gonna.
Just for the record, I don't consent to being called.
Yeah, we don't consent to listening to
Next
you say
question,
that.
please.
Judges had enough too. You're done. Just go on. He loves to waste people's time.
Is it fair to say that by the video footage,
Oh my God.
and to the best of your knowledge, no one was struck before the vehicle
He's
approached
asked
your
that already.
presence?
Objection.
Grounds.
Asked and answered.
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
Has been
grounds.
answered. Sustained.
You're asking the same crap.
I
Come up.
didn't answer the question.
He did answer it. Ugh. You gotta come up with some new material.
To the best of your knowledge, at that point where you observed the vehicle, to your knowledge, no one had been struck at that
He's
point.
already asked all of this. Stop it. Stop it.
Correct.
He looks like he wants to take him down. You can do it, Officer Butryn. We won't look. Don't ask anything more. The jury is not impressed.
And for the record, you have no filed claim in this matter whatsoever.
Objection. Irrelevant.
Sustained.
He already asked it.
Were you injured in any way during this matter?
No.
No further questions.
Let me redirect.
Just very briefly, please, Madam Clerk, put back up number 17.
All right, Opper. Get him, Opper. She's gonna make me feel better now.
And as it's being displayed right now, we are paused at the 33-second mark. Officer Butryn, can you clearly see north on Buckley Street from this vantage point, sir?
Yes, I can.
You see one plastic barricade obstructing travel to go northbound on Buckley Street at that location, sir.
Objection. You can clearly see.
Oh, wait, no, you can't talk. No, you're testifying. Shut up.
Jury will disregard at least the attempt to
Jesus.
testify by Mr.
You just like, "Blue."
Brooks. Your objection is noted, it's overruled. He may answer the question.
Yes, there's at least one barricade visible there.
Okay. And I am gonna ask the exhibit be replayed in its entirety. No one talking, so we can all listen to hear if the horn is honking. So, Ms. Gussie, please play it again from the beginning.
Permission granted.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Wow, was that him running? Wow, he's fast. That's utterly disgusting.
Exhibit 17 has been played in full. Officer Butryn, at any point were you able to hear the horn honking in that video, sir?
No, I was not.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
All right, thank you. You may step down.
Nah. Yeah. He still thinks
All right,
he's.
this will be a good stopping point for our mid-morning break. We'll take a 15-minute break. All rise for the jury, please.
He is such a despicable human being. I keep thinking, hey, I'm past all of this because I was focusing on that other trial. I get back in here and I found myself getting all agitated all over again. Hey, this is our therapy though. We can yell at him.
All right, thank you, everyone. We'll be back in 15 minutes. We are in recess. All right, then we are back on. The record appearances are as they were before. State may call its next, well, actually, we'll bring the jury in, and then you may call its next witness. Seem to like to want to do that these days. All right, have the jury brought back out, please.
Please don't ask her about subject matter jurisdiction.
We still have yet to address the subject matter jurisdiction. Would that be addressed at some point?
Mr. Brooks, that's a frivolous matter. We've already addressed that. I direct your attention to the Beneby decision, United States versus Beneby, found at 654 F 3rd 753. So I have addressed it.
What's he getting ready to try to whip out of there? Don't be using this time while the jury's coming in. Of course, we know that he does that.
Is that a judicial determination, Your Honor? If you want to address the subject matter jurisdiction?
Let's
The record
address
stands,
your
Mr. Brooks.
fingernails.
With a verified statement of particulars, my
Oh,
affidavit
God,
be
he's
addressed,
reading
Your Honor.
his script.
All rise.
Just be quiet.
Is that a tacit agreement, Your Honor?
We'll tack at you in a minute. Trust me, the jury is not impressed. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Attorney Operative statement calls next witness.
Thank you. The state will call Officer Schneider.
Officer Schneider.
Officer, if you would please make your way to the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you. Please have a seat. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record, and then spell each.
My name is Sonia Schneider. Sonia is Sonia. Schneider is Schneider.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Officer Schneider, how are you currently employed?
I'm employed with the City of Waukesha Police Department.
How long have you worked in law enforcement?
A little over 3 years now.
And were you working on the date of November 20, 2021? I'm sorry, November 21, 2021.
I was.
What were your duties that day?
My duties were to secure the parade route and then provide traffic and pedestrian control.
Were you assigned to a specific location?
Yes, I was to be the intersection of East Main Street and Northeast Avenue.
And was that your post throughout the entire event?
It was.
Do you remember about what time you arrived at that location?
I believe it was around 3 p.m.
Okay. And when you got there, what were your responsibilities? Or what did you do?
We closed down traffic from Buckley to Northeast and put up barricades.
Okay. And were you dressed in a police uniform that day?
I was dressed as I am right now.
And did you also have on a fluorescent vest?
I did.
Okay. And that lettering on that vest read police?
Yes.
Okay. At some point during the
For the
parade,
love of
was
everything
your
is
attention
holy.
drawn to a vehicle described as a
Shut
red
your damn
SUV?
box.
It was.
How was your attention drawn to that vehicle?
Well, initially, we heard a call come out in the area of Frame Park about a potential man-knife fight. And then shortly after, I heard radio traffic about a vehicle going through the barricades or past the barricades.
What action, if any, did you take?
I was standing next to Officer Butryn. He began to move forward, and as I observed the red SUV coming towards Officer Butryn and not stopping, I ran forward to also try to intercept the vehicle.
What did you do?
I positioned myself right in front of the SUV for about a moment.
Ooh, wow.
And tried to direct the vehicle off to Buckley, which would be to the right of the roadway.
Okay. And you said you positioned yourself right in front of the vehicle, is that right?
Yes.
So, did you go out into the roadway itself?
I stood directly in the path of the SUV, which
Okay.
was the entire right lane or north side of the street.
Okay. And did you say anything or gesture in any fashion to the vehicle?
I was just gesturing with my hands to try to get the driver to observe me in the street.
All right. Do you remember saying anything?
Sorry, just
Yes.
for the record, the witness has put both of her hands up with the palms facing out about between waist high and chest high in a stop motion. Go ahead.
Do you remember saying anything?
I don't recall saying anything.
Now, you said your intention was to try and direct the vehicle off onto Buckley Street.
It was.
Was that a possibility from where the vehicle was located when you first saw it?
It was. The vehicle had time to slow down and make that turn.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
He's looking all cocky.
you said you were facing the vehicle head on, correct?
I believe, if not exactly head on, at least, to the side where most of the front of my body would be facing it.
Okay. So you could see it coming, in other words.
Very clearly.
And you could see, because you were able to face the vehicle head on, you were able to see that at some point you needed to step out of the way so you yourself were not struck. Is that fair to say?
Objection. Reading the witness.
Sustained, please rephrase.
Oh,
As you
look.
stood in the middle of the road,
I don't like that Judge Darrow sounded impressed. Okay.
facing the vehicle, did you stay in that position, officer?
I did not. I was very concerned the car was going to hit me.
So what did you do?
I jumped out of the way.
Did you make any efforts to interact with the vehicle in any way?
I believe that I had hit out at the car.
Okay. Were you able to see the driver of the car?
I was.
What did you observe about the driver of the car?
It looked to be an African American male with brown eyes and brown hair.
Did the driver of the SUV react to your presence in any way?
When I observed the driver, he had no expression on his face and he was looking straight ahead as if he was looking straight through me.
And that never changed?
No.
And how many times have we heard witnesses say that? Ooh, I think y'all got your man. Same thing from so many people.
Did the driver of the SUV follow your direction and leave the parade route at Buckley?
No, he did not. As a matter of fact, he appeared to speed up.
Are you able to estimate speeds at this location?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
Okay, you had your moment, but now
I
you're
would
dumb again.
estimate the speed to be anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour.
Were you able to see how many people were inside the SUV as it went by you?
I couldn't see the back seat clearly, but I observed only one person in the front of the vehicle.
Okay. And that was the driver, correct?
Correct.
That you just described for us earlier.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to show you an item that's been marked and received as Exhibit 17, and we'll put it up on the screen in front of you first so you can take a look at it, see if you recognize it. So, for the record, we've played about the first 5 seconds or 6 seconds of the video. Do you recognize this video, Officer Schneider?
I do.
Do you see yourself in this video?
Yes.
And do you believe this is a true and accurate representation of your actions on that day?
Yes.
Okay. Permission to publish 17, Your Honor?
Permission granted, it's previously been received.
So if you could please point out for the jury your location in Exhibit 17. You can circle on the screen if you want it to touch screen.
This is me.
And next to you,
That's
to your
Officer.
right?
That's Officer Butryn.
Okay. At this point, what are you and Officer Butryn doing?
We were again providing that traffic and pedestrian control for the intersection.
Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and play this clip. It's 37 seconds long, and we'll just play it through, and then we can stop and ask questions if we need to, okay?
Your heart health, and you'll see in some ways it's got even more evidence behind it. So let me ask you this: who needs car test, and what exactly is it good for? Well, first of all, let's take a quick peek at what a coenzyme is. A coenzyme is any substance in the body that's there's a car going to work from which a chemical reaction respects. The key word, the energy that supplies your brain, your heart, your liver, your kidney.
Officer Schneider, is that consistent with your recollection of the events?
It is.
I saw in Exhibit 17 at one point you appeared to leave your post on the south side of the road and run into the road. Is that what happened?
Correct.
And the vehicle went past you then?
It did.
Look at him, he thinks he's
The,
so smart. Ugh.
It's excuse me, at that point, Officer Schneider, did you hear the vehicle honking its horn at all?
I never heard any honking.
Never at any point?
Never at any point.
Okay. I'd also like to show exhibit number 18, so same thing, we're going to
Oh boy.
preview it for you first before we show it for the jury, okay?
He's gonna get on that honking thing. Good Lord.
So for the record, we've shown about the first 2 or 3 seconds of that clip to Officer Schneider. Officer Schneider, is exhibit 18 a true and accurate representation of your actions involving the red SUV on 11/21 of 21?
It is.
Move to admit and permission to publish 18.
Any position, Mr. Brooks?
What's the relevancy of the video?
The objection is noted, it's overruled, and exhibit 18 is received, permission to publish is granted.
Just 1 second, I want to see the counter in the corner, can you close that? Noted, thank you. So for the record, this clip is 11 seconds in length. Officer Schneider, can you see yourself in this video at this point?
Yes.
Can you please circle yourself so the jury knows what to watch for?
Over there.
Okay. And please clear the screen.
Oh,
All right,
look
we're
at
going to
that
play
little
this video
child.
in its
Uh-oh.
entirety now.
Look at him.
Again, is that the moment where you ran up to the SUV and tried to stop it?
It was.
Okay. After the SUV had gone by you, at some point were you aware that individuals further down to your west had been struck by the SUV?
Yeah, there was what I would call screaming on the radio.
Police radio.
Correct.
Okay. And you didn't see the SUV actually strike anybody, correct?
I did not see that.
When you
Oh,
heard the
boy.
screaming and heard of the report of problems to your west, what did you do?
Overruled.
Initially, I was just trying to, I didn't know if there was going to be another vehicle coming because we didn't know what was going on. So I was trying to get people out of the roadway, and as soon as I heard the screaming on the radio, I began making my way downtown.
Did you encounter any people with injuries?
I did. I was stopped by numerous people who said that their children had potentially been nicked. The worst one was a adolescent female that was laying in the road with her family around her.
You know the first name of that adolescent female?
Jessica.
Oh,
Overruled.
look at that. See, look at that.
I'm sorry, your answer may have been blocked by Mr. Brooks' objections, but please repeat
I don't
it.
go by that
I do
name.
not consent to that name, nor am I that person.
Yeah, shut up.
Noted.
Her name was Jessica.
Jesselyn.
Oh,
Do you know
Jesselyn, I'm sorry.
which group or unit in the
You
parade
ran
she was
over
with?
Jesselyn.
She was in a dance squad.
Oh.
Did you attempt to render aid to Jesselyn?
I did.
Were her injuries significant?
They were.
At some point, did you go further westbound on Main Street and try and tend to more individuals?
I walked towards the direction of Mountaintop Coffee, and I was directed to stand guard over one of the deceased.
Do you know the name of that person?
I believed it was Virginia, but I learned later that she was misidentified.
Okay. Who was it that you were standing guard over?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I never inquired the true name of the individual.
Hearsay. Oh my God. You know, I know I've said it over and over again, but the family members having to sit through that whole trial, keeping quiet and hearing him talk like that, discarding everything like garbage. It will never, I guess that's why we keep watching it. Well, at least me. I don't understand why. And then just dismiss it like it's nothing. don't get it. I don't get it.
What I ended up being by.
Could you tell which group or unit in the parade that deceased person was associated with?
Overruled.
She was one of the dancing grannies.
Oh.
And what would be the purpose in having you stand by with a person who has suffered fatal injuries?
To preserve the scene and relieve a community service officer who was standing there initially.
Okay.
Proud of
Thank you,
yourself.
Officer Schneider. I don't have any questions beyond that.
All right.
Thank you. Any
There we
cross, Mr.
look at
Brooks?
him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Officer Schneider.
Mm.
It would be fair to say from the video footage that was shown that you were standing directly next to Officer Butran. Is that correct?
That is correct.
For any reason, would you have, being that you were so close next to him, not heard the same things that he heard?
Objection, I think that calls for
Grounds.
Good grief.
Calls for speculation.
She didn't hear the damn horn.
It's the same. Next question.
How long before you saw the approaching vehicle?
I heard radio traffic about it going past the barricades, and I would say it was a couple seconds later that we saw it coming down the street.
Did you observe anyone being struck at that time?
Look at that expression. Dead shark eyes.
I did not.
Did you observe anyone being struck after the vehicle passed you?
I did not.
Didn't they already ask that to her? Ugh.
Would it be fair to say from the video footage that was shown that the vehicle passed you in maybe a second, if that?
A second to 2 seconds. Yes.
Do you think that would be enough time to get a clear description of who was driving the vehicle?
Yes, I do.
And why do you believe that?
Because I saw the driver very clearly.
You saw the driver very clearly in 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Here we go again. He's does the same thing to multiple people throughout the trail.
Do you recall if the driver had hair?
I do.
Do you recall if the driver was wearing a hat?
I don't recall that.
Do you recall anything that the driver may have been wearing?
No, I don't.
Do you recall seeing anyone in the back seat?
I couldn't see the back seat from my position.
Why could you not see the back seat?
Because there's front seats in the way.
Were there any tinting to the vehicle that you saw?
Not that I saw.
It was coming head
So
on.
you saw no tinted windows at all on the vehicle?
It was
I do
coming.
not recall seeing tinted windows.
It was coming head on to her. Ugh.
Would it be fair to say from the video that there was a barricade set up at the cross street of Buckley?
Yes.
Would it be also fair to say that you couldn't turn down Buckley Street
Oh,
because
yes,
of the
you could.
barricade?
The street was barricaded.
You could have stopped.
Could you make a turn down the street that was barricaded?
You could make a turn, but it was barricaded.
How can you make a turn on a barricaded street? How would you be able to do that?
If a vehicle were to slow down, the barricade could be moved.
So a vehicle would actually have to stop and then make the turn.
Which
That's correct.
you should have done.
Were there any law enforcement officers posted at the barricade?
On that side of the street near Buckley, we had a reserve officer, I believe.
Do you recall if any one of those officers or officer attempted to stop the vehicle?
I couldn't tell you about that.
Was there any report of the officer that was standing at that barricade to stop the vehicle?
Again, I couldn't tell you about that.
So to the best of your knowledge, only you and Officer Butryn attempted to stop the vehicle?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
And there were other officers present?
The other individual who was present is not a sworn patrol officer.
Were they law enforcement?
No, they're considered a reserve officer.
Were they wearing any gear that may have identified them as an officer?
I don't recall what that officer or that reserve officer was wearing.
Can we show exit 17 again? Or exhibit 17.
You want it published or just shown to the witness?
I want it shown to the witness.
Motion granted.
You're not gonna have her listen to the horn, is she?
Actually, can we show it to the whole court?
Permission granted, it's been received.
Well, before you play it, can you pause it? Before you play it, would it be fair to say that at that intersection that has the red light facing towards the camera, that there is in fact someone who appears to be law enforcement standing right there?
Objection vague.
Sustained.
Grounds. Okay.
Rephrase.
Oh, God.
Would it be fair to say that someone standing at that intersection that appears to be wearing the same police vest attire that you are wearing?
Objection vague.
Grounds.
Your Honor, Mr. Brooks can use the touch screen on his monitor as well, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Brooks, I love it.
I'm gonna overrule the objection. I think what he was asking is clear enough, so you may answer.
Oh, gosh.
There is an individual on the Buckley side of the intersection wearing a high-res traffic vest.
Is it similar in any way to the vest that you are wearing?
It appears to be so, yes.
So, would it be fair to say that the appearance of them wearing the same attire as you, that they would be easily identified as law enforcement?
I would go so far as to say that they would be at least highly visible to people, yes.
Would someone who's not in the law enforcement field possibly for any reason mistake them as law enforcement?
Possibly, yes.
What is his point?
Can you play it just for a couple of seconds so we can get a clear look at the individual that I'm referring to?
Exactly how many seconds, Mr. Brooks?
I don't consent to being called that name.
Yeah, maybe she shouldn't consent to playing it for him and
Seconds.
consent to playing it for him.
Then pause at the 3-second mark, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Can you go back a second?
Oh,
Judge,
gosh.
it's not possible to jump back in 1 second increments.
Go back to the beginning, please.
Right there.
Ask your question.
Yeah, what's your question?
Do you know that individual right there?
This,
I don't recall who that was, no.
Did you see them at any time attempt to stop the vehicle or redirect the vehicle?
is she? Oh,
I
she,
did not observe that myself.
she was probably very busy.
You can take the exhibit down.
What point? That, to me, that made no point. There was no point made there.
You're done with this exhibit?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You can take it down then.
Can you put up exhibit 18 for the court?
You just want this presented, not played at this moment? Just confirming.
I'm probably gonna play it too.
We'll get it up first.
For the entire court.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, Exhibit 18 is on the screens. Do you want it played, Mr. Brooks? Do you have a question at this point?
I want it played, Your Honor, if I may.
The whole thing?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, permission granted.
Pause it right there. Would it be fair to say that that was just a horn that was heard?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't hear a horn.
You don't hear a horn.
I do not hear a horn.
Can we start that from the beginning?
Oh, God, here we go.
Mr. Brooks.
When did you have the
Objection. I do not consent to being called that name, Your Honor.
You know what?
Nor do I identify by that name.
The defendant has asked the video to be stopped. It was stopped at 4 seconds in. He's requested that it be replayed. Are you going to have the whole thing replayed, or do you want it stopped again at 4 seconds?
Maybe around this same point.
I'll wait till you say stop then.
Okay.
We'll make a record of it. Go ahead.
Pause it. Would it be
What the-
fair to say that that was not just a horn that was heard on this video?
No.
I will stick with my original answer on that.
So your original answer would be that you did not just hear a horn on
No.
this video that was being played.
That's correct.
Don't make people say things that they don't hear.
And for the record, it was stopped at 6 seconds.
So would it be any reason that anyone else would have heard a horn?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Grounds.
Sustained cause for
Grounds.
speculation on the part of this witness.
Did you at any time get a chance to read the report by Officer Butryn, who was standing right next to you during this event?
I did not read his report.
Did you have any conversation with him about what he may have observed or heard that evening?
Can you clarify what you mean?
Did you have any conversation with Officer Butryn about what he may have observed or heard on that evening?
I believe that the evening that later, after everything had calmed down, we had talked for a little bit.
Did he state to you that he had heard a horn beeping at any time during your conversation?
Objection, hearsay, move to strike
Grounds.
question.
Grounds. Hearsay.
Oh,
Good letter into.
sustained.
Okay, good.
Calls for hearsay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Do you recall what the conversation was about when you talked that evening?
I can't recall specifics, no.
Did you in any way talk about what had happened that evening at the parade?
Yeah, it would be about the parade, but I can't, again, tell you specifics of what we talked about.
You don't recall?
I've already answered that.
Yes, yes. You tell him. All right, you go.
But you're sure that you had some talks about what you
Yeah.
may have seen?
Mm-hmm.
Objection, repetitive.
Grounds.
So
Has to be
repetitive.
answered. Sustained. Next question, please.
She's not answering it the way he likes it, so he's starting to get a
Just so
little bit.
we're clear for the record.
Please stop it. Don't ask again.
From your recollection, would it be fair to say that Officer Butryn saw the approaching vehicle before you did?
Objection,
Grounds.
speculation.
Grounds.
Sustained. It calls for speculation on the part of this witness. Next question.
At what point did you see the vehicle? Once it was past Officer Butryn or before it had passed him?
I saw the vehicle coming from the White Rock location, so it was before the vehicle had even approached Officer Butryn's location.
Any reason why you didn't move to attempt to stop the vehicle when Officer Butryn did?
Yes, we oftentimes in our line of work have people, meaning no ill will, just disregard police barricades and other things. So initially, I didn't know if the vehicle was being driven by somebody that was just simply distracted or lost or senile. I had no idea.
Yeah. See now.
So it would be fair to say that at the time you had no idea what was going on with the vehicle and why it was there.
At the time, what I knew was that someone had radioed that a car had disregarded our barricades.
Oh Lord, is he gonna
to keep
say?
the parade route closed off.
You gotta say you called it a car.
And you heard this on the radio, correct?
On police radio, yes.
So did you hear a car or did you hear an SUV?
I don't recall the exact words that were used. It was a vehicle.
Would it be fair to say that you just said that you heard a car over the radio?
I don't recall the exact words.
Would it be fair to say that it is extremely hard to compare a car with an SUV?
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Yeah, he's.
Next question.
No, you're.
Would you ever mistake a car in an SUV?
Objection,
Grounds.
argumentative.
It is. Don't.
Overruled. She may answer.
Oh my gosh, why?
I think I'm pretty good at knowing the difference.
So when you heard the radio call, were you expecting a car or an SUV?
Oh, for Lord, who knows?
I was expecting a vehicle, red in color, to be coming my direction.
Would it be fair to say that you, before didn't state the color of the vehicle that you were expecting?
I think the question's vague, Your Honor, as
Objection.
to
Grounds.
when
Boy.
she may or may
Grounds.
not.
Mr. Brooks, hold on. Let her
Yeah,
state the
please.
objection.
Good gosh.
Question's vague as to when she may or may not have indicated the color of the car, Your Honor.
Grounds.
I'll sustain the objection. Please rephrase. It's sustained as to the form of the question.
At any time during the radio report, was there any report of the color of the vehicle, as you say,
As you see.
in the report that you heard over the radio?
The exact color of the vehicle over the radio call hearing, I know that I saw a red SUV coming from White Rock.
Would it be fair to say that you heard the radio call before you saw the vehicle?
Absolutely, I heard it before I saw it.
So would it be fair to say that you couldn't have known what the color of the vehicle would be and what vehicle was being referred to?
There was only one vehicle on the parade route, from what I saw.
Were there any radio reports that the vehicle had struck anyone at that time that you heard?
No, I didn't hear anyone say that the vehicle had struck anyone.
Was there any reports at that time over the radio that you heard of a description of who may have been driving the vehicle?
No, I don't recall a description coming out over the radio prior to me seeing the vehicle come across my path.
So would it be fair to say that the radio report was pretty vague?
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Were there any reports that you know of, rather by radio or from people who were present in your area that you were, that they may have heard honking from the vehicle that approached?
Let it go.
Objection, speculation.
Grounds.
Let it go.
Overruled. The way it was phrased, he asked if she had any information, so she may answer.
I don't have any information about honking.
Can you recall about what time you saw the approaching vehicle?
I don't know the exact time, no.
Were you injured in any way by the vehicle?
I was not injured.
So it would be fair to say that you haven't filed a claim in this matter, correct?
Objection irrelevant.
Grounds.
Overruled. She may answer.
I have not filed a claim for this.
So it would be also fair to state that you are not an injured party in this matter, correct?
Objection asked and answered.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Could you state for the record who subpoenaed you to testify in this
Oh,
matter today?
Lord.
The state?
And when you say the state, who are you referring to exactly?
State of Texas.
The state of Wisconsin?
To the best of your knowledge, being in law enforcement for some time, have you ever had any interaction with the state whatsoever?
Objection
Grounds.
irrelevant. Vague.
Grounds.
Sustained. Next question.
Well, you can tell by her face, she could rip him up too.
Did you physically talk to the state about testifying here this morning?
Objection
Grounds.
vague and irrelevant.
Grounds.
Do you mean to ask her if she spoke with the DA's office?
Did she speak to the plaintiff?
Don't help him, Judge.
Sustained. Next question.
How long have you known the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection irrelevant.
Mm,
Sustained.
Gosh.
Next question.
keep going, keep going.
Have you read the complaint in this matter? To your recollection?
I have, I believe I've skimmed it over. I haven't read it in its entirety.
Would it be any reason why you didn't read the complaint in its entirety?
Oh my
Irrelevant.
gosh.
Grounds.
Sustained.
See, any reason why you didn't stop your
Did you have
car?
any idea that you may be called to testify in this matter?
Quick, click it. Pen insert.
I did see it as a possibility, yes.
So it would be fair to say that if you knew that it was a possibility that you may be called to testify, would it be fair to say that it would be best to acquire all the knowledge that you can acquire?
That's
before
argumentative.
testifying?
Objection argumentative.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Seriously. Wouldn't it be better to stop the car? He makes everybody out to be like the accused.
Are you aware that all police departments are funded by the state of Wisconsin?
Objection irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
The jury is not
If
impressed
you
by
weren't
it.
testifying here this morning, would you be on duty?
Yes, I would be.
Is that why you came in uniform?
Yes, it is.
So it'd be fair to say that right now you're on the clock,
Yes, I am.
being paid by whom?
By the city of Waukesha.
Is the city of Waukesha in the state of Wisconsin?
Stop it.
Yes, it is.
And who funds the Waukesha Police Department?
Objection irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Just stop it. Stop it. She's getting ready to tear him up. Rightfully so.
During your attempt to stop the vehicle, do you recall the vehicle trying to strike anyone?
Oh gosh.
I did not see the vehicle deviating in any way. No.
Do you recall it trying to strike anyone?
I think it's asked and answered, Your Honor.
Yeah, really.
Sustained.
By you saying that you didn't see the vehicle deviate, can you clarify for the record what that means, in your opinion?
When I saw the vehicle coming towards my direction, it was driving in a straight line.
towards her. Yeah.
So would it be fair to say that that does not clarify what you mean by deviate?
Objection.
Oh my gosh.
Argumentative, sustained.
To the best,
Mm.
as far as you recall, you didn't see or hear that the vehicle has struck anyone. That be fair to say?
Stop asking that.
That's been asked and answered, Your Honor.
Grounds.
Sustained.
You ask the same things over and over and over again. Again, they have nothing to do with saving your case.
Do you know of any cross streets before you attempted to stop the vehicle that may have been barricaded?
We had barricades up in the area of White Rock Avenue. I wasn't up there at any point in time, so I couldn't give you the exact location of every barricade.
But you do know that there were pretty much barricades throughout the parade route. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, we needed to secure it.
Do you know of any attempts to stop the vehicle before it came to the area that you were in?
Well, I personally observed Officer Butryn attempt to stop the vehicle.
Do you know of any attempts to stop the vehicle before the vehicle
Well, how's she
approached
gonna
the
know
area?
that?
Based on the radio traffic I heard, it sounded like officers had attempted at that time, but I didn't see it, so I couldn't say for certain.
Yeah, because wasn't Detective Casey the
So
first
it would be
one?
fair to say that you don't recall.
No, that's not.
Objection. That's
Grounds.
fair to say,
No.
Your Honor. It's a
Grounds.
misstatement of her testimony.
That's right. You tell him.
Sustained. It mischaracterizes the testimony.
Grounds. This is not helping you a bit. Just in case you wondered.
So to the best of your knowledge, Officer Butryn was the first person that you observed attempting to stop the vehicle,
That's correct.
and then yourself,
That is correct.
with no injuries.
Oh my gosh.
Can you clarify, please?
You, Officer Butryn, or you were not injured in your attempt to stop the vehicle.
I believe that's correct.
Oh, she's so pissed.
You believe that was correct?
Oh, stop it.
I don't recall Butryn complaining of any injuries, so I couldn't say for certain.
Were you yourself injured?
I have already answered that.
Good. You tell him. She ain't putting up with his shit. Rightfully so.
You stated that you skimmed through the complaint
Oh,
for
gosh.
this matter. Would that be fair to say?
Objection. Asked and answered. We move on to a new topic, Your
That's
Honor.
right.
Grounds.
Don't-
Sustained has been asked and answered.
It has. Again and again and again, the same
New
stuff.
topic, Mr. Brooks, under
New topic.
9611. I'm directing you to move on.
I'm just trying to find out what would be a reason not to read the whole complaint.
Oh my gosh.
Irrelevant, Your Honor.
So, grounds.
There's no question.
Grounds is you shouldn't be saying all that stuff. Why didn't they say the jury should not be listening to that?
Did you hear of any incident at Frank Park?
Oh gosh, are you kidding
Objection.
me?
Asked and answered.
I didn't ask this witness.
Overruled. She may answer.
Oh man.
I did answer that earlier in my testimony.
You may answer it again. Please.
I heard that there was a man knife call, is how it came out, potentially in Frame Park.
At any point that evening, did you follow up on that report?
I did not.
She's too busy skimming the
To
other.
the best of your knowledge, do you know if, are you aware of any officer following up on that report?
The officers that were dispatched to that call, of which I don't recall who they were, would have been in charge of that.
Did you learn any information about a knife being found?
I did not.
Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Beating a dead horse.
To the best of your knowledge, do you recall any domestic dispute coming over the radio?
You mean you,
What point in time?
smacking
The
area,
evening
Erica,
during the parade,
during the parade?
November 21st.
No, that would have happened before the parade.
I don't recall specifically the terms domestic being used over the radio in any way. No.
Okay. There's Paris coming in. She's saying hello to you all. Tell Brooks
To the
to.
best of your knowledge, do you recall a vehicle being found on Maple Street?
Yes, I do recall.
Did you respond there directly, or do you know if, well, let me take that back.
Yeah,
Did you
just
respond there directly?
No, I did not.
let it go.
Do you recall what that report was saying over the radio?
Objection vague.
Grounds.
Don't.
Sustained as to the form of the question. It's also beyond the scope of the direct exam. Unless you have information she was involved in that. Mr. Brooks, move on.
Yes, please move on. Come on, you can do it.
And what would you estimate the speed was of the vehicle you attempted to stop?
Objection asked and answered.
She did.
Sustained.
It was asked and
I
answered.
don't recall asking this speed.
Somebody else did.
This witness has answered about speed multiple times, but if you wanted to state it again.
Oh, for gosh sake. Judge, really?
I said approximately 30 to 40 miles per hour.
To the best of your knowledge, would there be any reason why an officer standing right next to you would not estimate it at that speed?
Objection argumentative.
Grounds.
It's argumentative and it calls for speculation on the part of this witness, so it's sustained.
Move on, Mr. Brooks.
Do you know of any officers that was in your vicinity that gave a speed estimate of the vehicle you attempted to stop?
Objection irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
It was sustained, because I might have cut that out. Accidentally.
No more further questions.
Thank you, Lord.
Redirect.
Very briefly, Officer Schneider, cross-examination, you told Mr. Brooks that you saw the driver of the vehicle quite clearly. Do you remember that?
Objection, I do not consent to being called that name, and I would respectfully ask not to be identified with an unknown individual.
Your objection is noted, it's overruled.
And
Go ahead.
stupid.
Yeah.
Do you see the driver of the red SUV in the courtroom here today, Officer Schneider?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled, she may answer.
I'd ask Mr. Brooks be directed to remove his mask so that Officer Schneider can identify him, please.
Objection, I never heard an answer to the question.
It has not been answered. Mr. Brooks, please remove your mask.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you.
Officer Schneider, is the driver of the red SUV that you've just described for this jury present in this courtroom today?
Objection,
Yes.
you're saying.
Can you please point him out by where he's seated and what he's wearing?
He's seated over here at the table wearing a gray suit.
That's the man you saw driving the red SUV as it sped past you?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
On the issue of identification only, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do.
Oh, gosh. Really?
You did state that you saw the driver of the vehicle and the driver had hair, and you stated brown eyes and brown hair, correct?
That is what I said.
You also stated that you can see somewhat what they was wearing by a hat, or
That's incorrect. I did not say that.
so you were able to see the driver of the vehicle's entire head.
I was able to see hair, which is what I have said previously.
Would it be fair to say that the alleged defendant that you just identified on the record for the court does not have hair?
Oh, gosh.
You have shaved your head. Yes.
Would it be fair to say that you have not seen the alleged defendant shave his head?
Objection. Relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled. She may answer. Presuming in the act of.
The act of.
I have not witnessed him actively shaving his head.
She's probably
Would it be
going.
fair to say that, to the best of your knowledge, you do not know, in fact, if the alleged defendant shaved his head?
I am looking at the individual who was driving the SUV, and he now has a shaved head.
There you go. Let it
That
go.
doesn't answer the question.
It does.
Yes, it does. Oh, she would like to rip him up. Don't look at her like that. Don't shake your head. You're asking the stupidest
And
questions.
you stated eye color, correct?
Yes.
Can you see the alleged defendant's eye color from where you are sitting?
I cannot.
No further questions.
Oh, look, he thinks
Thank you.
he's so
You may step
good.
down.
Look at him. He goes, ooh, look at me. I'm a cool.
Excuse your honor.
She may.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to take our lunch break now. I have information that the lunch for the jurors will be up in about 10 minutes. So rather than start a witness, just to take a break around that time, we'll take our lunch now. It will be at least an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, but I'd ask the parties be back in an hour. And then also advise the jury and Mike and Pete what time I need them back. All right, thank you everyone. I'll rise for the jury.
Well, there we go. Another installment of him provoking the witnesses. But I liked that officer. She was, what I want to say, she was fiery. She looked very tiny herself, but I believe she still could have taken him, and he would have run away crying to Mama Dawn. Mama Dawn. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. All right, I'm glad I am done with him for this one. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed it. We're going to just keep on going through, and it's kind of crazy to think that, the trial was going on. I guess it was still going on a year ago around this time. And the attack, well, in November, will be 2 years. It's just crazy. I would love to know how all those people are doing now. It takes a long time. Well, you never get over that kind of stuff. But I sure hope everyone is healing. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching, commenting, subscribing. I really, really do appreciate it. I love you. Be kind to everyone. Be kind to you. And I will see you the next time.